Gather round, scouts, and let me tell you a tale from the past. A story of the high seas brave captains and the dark business of trade from centuries ago. This story is about a voyage in the year 1761, when Captain Peter Gwinn set sail from Boston to the coast of Africa, under the orders of a man named Timothy Fitch. Voyage by Captain Peter Gwinn to Senegal. Capt. Peter Gwinn. Boston, September 4th, 1761. Sir, you having the command of my brig Phyllis, your orders are to embrace the first good wind and proceed to the coast of Africa, touching first at Senegal. There dispose of as much of your cargo as you can to advantage for cash or prime slaves. Then proceed down the coast to such places as you may judge the most likely to dispose of your cargo. As you'll be very barely upon the coast, you are not to take any children, especially girls, if you can avoid it by any means, and as few women as possible, and them likely. Take as many prime young men and boys as you can get from 14 to 20 years of age. Take no slave on board that has the least defect or is sickly. As you will be early and have a choice well assorted and good cargo, make no doubt you'll be able to pick yourselves. I'd rather you be 2 months longer on the coast than to bring off such a cargo as your last, which was very small and the meanest cargo I ever had. You have half as much again cargo as you had the last voyage, and by a moderate calculation, sufficient to purchase 140 to 150 prime slaves. What money you get at Senegal you may keep until you see if you have occasion to part with it for slaves to leeward. Should you be so fortunate as to fall in at a good time, so as to slave quick with grown slaves, be ready to come off by the beginning of February. At that time, if it's too early to go to South Carolina, you may go to Monte Cristo and there dispose of your slaves. Purchase a complete load of the best white sugars. Where you can't stow hogsheads, stow in barrels. Use the remainder of your money to purchase sugar or molasses and ship it upon any vessel bound this way. If no opportunity to ship, then bring home your money in gold and secret it in some place about you. In case you should be taken, you might save it. If Captain Job Prince is at Monte Cristo, advise with him. Should you be detained longer than February on the coast, you may go to South Carolina or Vineyard and there dispose of as many slaves as you can for cash, and then some few refuge for rice for any slaves that may be left. Proceed to Cape Fear and apply to my friend Capt. Richard Quince to dispose of the remainder for nothing but cash or undoubted bills of exchange, such as Mr. Quince would endorse himself. If you take bills at South Carolina, choose a good endorser, of which you must be very careful. But if by any accident you are detained until June on the coast, I think in that case you had best come directly home to Boston. I shall lodge letters for you at the Mount, South Carolina, and Cape Fear. Whatever is done at either of those places, you must do it with dispatch. Your privilege is 4 slaves, your wages 3 lbst per month, and your commission 6%. Write me by all and every opportunity of your proceedings, and be very particular as to the number of slaves, their quality, and when you think of sailing and where you are bound, you must be very careful and watchful over your slaves, more so than common, as I hope you'll have mostly grown slaves. I send you Charles Wright. I would have you take care to find out if he has any relations that will receive him. He has been with me for 2 years. His board, schooling and clothing cost at least 60 or 70 pounds sterling. Get what you can, more or less. Lighten your partridge bill by supplying your people as much as you can. I have taken particular care about your rum cask, so I hope you'll have little, if any, leakage. Mind and get all your old debts left from the last voyage, and try if you can get anything from Rand. Keep your small arms for sale and for the use of the vessel in better order than the last voyage. You have 384 bars due upon the coast which you must mind and receive in prime slaves. The letter you have for Mr. Cleveland is concerning Charles. Read Cleveland's invoices and Rand's letters and then seal and deliver them. You must be more careful of your cargo than last voyage. Many things are missing and not accounted for. Write me by every opportunity by all means. I am wishing you a good voyage and safe return. Sir, your friend and owner, Timothy Fitch, Boston, September 10th, 1761. Above stands copy of my orders which I promise to follow as witness my hand. WB. Captain Gwinn commission is 4% upon his sail on the coast and return to Boston. But if to Monte Cristo or Carolina, 5% for what he sells and brings produce for. Voyage by Captain Peter Gwinn to Senegal Timo Fitch. And so, Captain Gwinn set sail, following these detailed and demanding instructions. This letter, a glimpse into the harsh realities of the past, reminds us of the complexities and the often grim nature of historical trade. As you sit here by the fire, think about the choices and the lives entwined in such voyages. History is filled with lessons, some bright and others dark, but all essential for us to understand our world today.